Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we will see how to build a C++ project in VS Code on Windows. In last video, we saw how to set up the Visual Code. So we'll start with a brief recap of the last video. We were following the documentation which is given on the web page of Visual Studio Code. So we followed the steps here. We started first with the prerequisites. We installed the VS Code on Windows. Then we also installed the extension specified here, which are C++ extension on the VS Code. Then we installed mngw toolchain on the Windows. We followed some commands which are given here. We also modified the environment variables for the path variable, and we added mngw path in that path variable. Then after that, we also verified the versions of the installed GCC, G++, and GDB. And now in this video, we'll start with creating a sample project, and then we'll try to build it using the steps which are given here. Just go to the desired folder, press shift and right click, open the shell. A shell will open like this. We need to give the command mkdir and the project name that you want to give. Here I am giving the project 4. Then I will move to that project. Then I will use cd project 4. Now I will open the code. I will give the code dot command. It will open VS Code here. It will open the VS Code UI, and it will look like this. Here we can add new files, and it will ask for the trust. You can click on the yes, we trust the author, and you can click on new file. You can select the text file, and then you can save it. For saving, we need to go to the file, and we need to click on save. We can save it as name.cpp because we are coding in the C++ language. Here we can include the files that you want to. Here I am including iostream because I want to print something. Here we need to have function main with return value as int. In the function body, we will return 0 in order to satisfy the function signature. Now to have some implementation, I will have a new file. I will go to file, and I will create a new file, new text file. Here I will paste some class declaration. This is basically my class which is having some public function, constructor, destructor, and function 1, 2, 3 as public function, and in private section I am having num as element and internal function as private function. I will save this file as myclass.h file, and now I will have a new file. In order to implement this class, I will go to file, new text file. Here I will include myclass.h file because I am having my class declaration in that file. And now I will define the functions which I have declared in my class.h. I will provide the definition of my constructor, then followed by the definition of destructor. Destructor will have a tilde sign in front of the function name, and the same way I will provide the definition of function 1, then definition of function 2, and then function 3. At last, definition will be provided for internal function. Now just to have some debug messages, I will have an stdcout statement in each function. In constructor, I will say stdcout inside constructor. Then at the last, I will say stdendl. The same way I will do in the destructor. I will say inside destructor. And now in the function 1, inside function 1. The same way in function 2, I will say inside function 2, and same way in the function 3. And at last in internal function, inside internal function. I need to save this file with the name myclass.cpp. Now I need to include IOStream because I'm using stdc out in my class, and I also need to return some value, and I'm returning void, so I need to mention it in the function definition. So yeah, now it is fine. We will keep function 1 with only one print statement, and in function 2 we'll include some for loop. This for loop will start from I is equal to 0 and it will go till it reaches 9, and we'll do some I plus plus, and inside this we will print something. We'll print the value of I. I'm just adding this for loop just to have a detailed look in the debug session, so we'll see that in the next video. And in function 3 I want to call internal function. I will call internal function, and in internal function I want to print the data element num, just to see the class variable while we debug the class. Yeah, so now it will print whenever we will debug it. Now we need to use this class in the main function. So first we need to include my class.h file. We should use double quotes here. And now we need to create the object of that class. We will use my class pointer. I will call this name as obj equal to new my class constructor. Now I will call the function 1 using this object, then function 2, and then function 3. Let's now quickly recap what we have implemented till now. We are having one class, name is my class. It is having function 1, function 2, function 3 as public, internal function, and one private element num. In my class.cpp we are having the class definition, and in main.cpp we are calling function 1, function 2, function 3 using the object of my class. Now we will build this project by clicking on this play button. Now we need to select C++ using g++.exe. It will start the build process, and we can see the build progress in the terminal. We can see that g++.exe is getting invoked, and file which is sent for the build is main.cpp, and it is having some errors. We can click on show errors. In the terminal we can see the error. It is saying that definition of my class related functions is not found. Why? Because we are only giving main.cpp file as input to the g++. So now we need to give other file main.cpp as input to the compiler, then it will build. So we can add it in the task.json file. Here we have the input for the compiler, so we can see that it is having the list of tasks. So the type is cpp build and label is c/c++ g++.exe build active file, and in command we are giving the full path of g++.exe. So this is the install path for the g++ compiler. In the argument we are specifying the argument which are to be given to the g++. In the arguments we are having some options which are getting provided to the compiler. So we have -g and the file will be the one in which we have selected before clicking on the play button. So by default it will be main.cpp, and options we are giving the directory name, and problem matcher it is a matcher for finding the errors and warnings, so gcc is the best matcher. So to fix this error we will give the all files which is having the extension of C++. I will copy the file directory name and I will replace the file option here, and then I will provide all the files which are having .cpp as extension in this folder. So I will mention slash and then star.cpp. So this will provide all the files which are having C++ as extension to the compiler. And now I will click on this button again. It will start the build process according to the options that we have given. So now we can see that all files which are having the extension as C++ is provided as input to the compiler. And now the build is succeeded. So it means that we have built all the files which we have programmed for my class.cpp. So friends, thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.